Welcome everybody to the Spark Up Podcast. Cristina Sev as your host, ghetto superstar Sev on the mic. This podcast ain't for everybody, but it's for somebody, and I hope that somebody is you. Today I am joined by one of my favorite artists who put their debut EP, Time Revealed, out in 2022. It's been some time now, with all the replay value in the world. I actually should have brought the CD. I keep the CD in my car. And she dropped a sexy drill song hating on Virgo Men called I Hate Virgo Men. That was featured on one of the biggest hip hop platforms called On the Radar. She also dropped a sexy single, Jumbotron, in the summer that took us through. And she been in LA. She been recording new music. She's back home. So I had to catch her before she gets back on the road. And you'll be on stage at the OBU, right? Yep, at Norfolk, Virginia, October 17th with Mariah the Scientist and other artists. Huge deal. And so today we're joined by Hennessy. Thank you for coming through. I'm going to interview you today, of course, and get all in your business. But before we get into that, I want to play an icebreaker called Two Truths and a Lie. So how we play is, have you played this game before?
I don't think but I've seen people play it.
All right, so you got to say 3 statements. 2 of them have to be true. 1 of them has to be a lie.
Okay.
Okay.
I have tattoos. I can sing in Korean. And I've been skydiving.
Which one is a lie? This is going to sound weird, but I feel like I've never really seen your body to know that you have tattoos. So, you don't have tattoos? Is that the lie?
I have
Oh, damn.
I have the map of Providence.
Damn. Is it the skydiving?
I never been skydiving before.
I never noticed that tattoo. But I feel like, well, maybe because the projects you put out is usually in the fall, I feel like. Is that a common thing?
Yeah.
Is that the intentional?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because it's your season?
It's my season.
Yeah, Team Scorpio. All right, we're gonna get right to get to know you. I know a little bit about you because I've been following you for some time. But first, how are you today?
I'm great.
Good.
Just left Pilates.
Yeah.
I biked.
Pilates is hard, I heard. Is that true?
I feel like I'm in the gym with D a lot, and he's more intense.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's that.
He's looking buff these
I know
days.
he's so intense, so I feel like Pilates is just like.
Oh, he's home too.
No, he's in LA.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. You've been in the gym. You had to keep the momentum out here. That's good. Okay. So you're a girl from the south side of Providence, smallest state. And I have to know what high school you went to. I feel like that kind of shapes who you are.
PCTA.
Yeah. Southside baby for sure. PCTA is the technical school.
Yeah, it's like graphic design, culinary.
Actually, that changes everything.
Hair, cosmetology. What else? They have like plumbing.
Yeah. What were you like as a young girl? Because I feel like you're soft-spoken, very shy. But when we see you in the videos, it's a different side of you. Were you always this shy as a kid? Like, what were you like?
I don't think I'm shy. I think I'm just like really
just
like
chill,
reserved, and like
you're saying everybody else is doing the most.
No, I don't think so. I just think I'm just like nonchalant. But I've always been like a tomboy, like growing up. Always been like into like sports, creativeness. Like my mom, she's a painter.
Really?
So like there's like so many paintings in my house because of my mom. We used to paint like jeans together and stuff.
Wow, that's dope. So you come from an artsy home.
Yeah,
basically.
and my grandmother could sing really, really well.
Really? Wow, that's fire. Is your grandma still with us?
Yes.
Does she still be singing around the house? Like, did she ever had dreams of being a singer?
No, she just sings church music all the time. Like,
wow, that's interesting. Okay. And I know you talk a lot about Drake. I think mostly because probably the Scorpio connection, which is probably why I'm drawn to you too, because I'm a Scorpio too. I actually have the same birthday as Drake, October 24th. Shout out to me. Did you always have dreams of becoming an artist? Was that a thing for you?
Yeah. My mom, she like took me to like X Factor, America's Got Talent.
What?
Yeah, like when
Your mom's lit.
Yeah, she's always like supported me. she's always been like a free spirit. So anything I wanted to do, she's always been like down.
That's interesting though. So you come from a place where you were like kind of bred to be an artist. I feel like a lot of people, when they're finding their artistry, is due to either rebelliousness or like a need to express. But yours kind of came natural. You grew up in an artsy home.
It did, but like I've always been like someone that wanted to try like everything. So like outside of like music, I went to college. Like I did like a bunch of things. But like when I like started doing music again, my mom's like, I always knew you was gonna do music, but I didn't want to tell you that. I wanted you to just find it yourself again.
Did you finish college?
No, I dropped out.
What were you studying?
A bunch of shit. Like I kept switching my major.
Oh my God. You were never going to finish.
I don't think so.
I'm glad you dropped out, actually. Yeah. That would have been, the loans would have been racked up.
I know.
Besides Drake, who are your other musical influences that you say have shaped you as an artist?
I love Lauryn Hill. I think because I like hip hop. I like R&B. She like knows how to like mesh the two. Brandy. I love her. She's amazing. Maya.
It's a thing here, a trend, like
Lil
90s
Wayne.
R&B.
I love Lil Wayne. Young Thug is like one of my favorite rappers. I loved Paramore growing up.
Yeah, that's good.
What else? The Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus. Like my music taste was like all over the place. Like The Script, The Fray.
Ooh.
Like I listened to like literally everything.
Emotional music though. I feel like that's the common theme in all of it. I've been watching you from afar for a while. I want to tell the brief story on how we met. Do you remember?
Yes, I think.
Actually, shout out to Mike who's in the building. We had an old studio on Reservoir Ave.
Oh yeah, yep.
And you were performing for the fashion show and he was like, yo, where you at? And I was like, home. He's like, let me use your studio real quick. And I'm like, for what? It's like, oh, for this artist, Hennessy, she needs to use the space. And I'm like, who? He's like, Hennessy, she's going to go sing. And I think you hadn't put out.
I had no music out.
Yeah, you hadn't put out anything yet. And then Mike gave us a ride home. And then you were like, I have some music on my phone. Actually, you guys want to hear it? And I'm like, absolutely. Because I'm obsessed with music.
I can't even imagine how that music sounds.
It was actually pretty good.
Really?
And I was like, yo, this is fire. I don't know if you played 1-800-SLIDE, but you played something that I was like, this is really good. And you were talking about like, yeah, but I don't know if I want to put it out and all, you know, all the self-doubt that you were probably dealing with. So who encouraged you the most to actually put music out?
Probably my brother, because I didn't want to put like nothing out when I think about it. Like I'm so like, even to this day, like I'm very like picky with like my music. Like music I recorded like last year, like I'll listen to it, I'll be like, I don't know if I want to like drop it. Like, I don't know. I know like my brother, he was just like, you have to stop just being so much in your head. Like just release music, and if people like it, like they'll listen to it, and if they don't, like who gives a fuck? Like you only get better as like you keep.
That's a fact.
Like, progressing, and that's kind of like, well, I feel like every year like I get better and better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's been really dope to see your growth, especially on stage.
Yeah.
Even though I have to give you grace. I think when you did the show at FET, it was like nobody there because it was COVID. And I was like, why didn't they just cancel the show? But I think they were trying to do like the live stream.
Yeah, I think, wasn't it live? Like
yeah, it was a live stream.
Live, yeah.
And it was like, we're at home, like people are dying, like just let Hennessy go home.
I loved it though. Like,
yeah, did you?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. Like I feel like a lot of people watched it.
The concept is cool.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was ahead of its time. But I think you came out the gate swinging. Me personally, I think 1-800-SLIDE is like a classic. At least in my life, it's a classic. My daughter even knows that song. And you dropped it in March 2020, which was right before everything shut down. Obviously, we were all affected by the pandemic, but how was your mental health after dropping that? Because did you even have plans for what that rollout would look like? Like, did you have plans in motion that you had to stop because of COVID? Like, what was happening at that time?
I didn't have like a set rollout. I was just like winging it. But I know I worked at Bradley at the time, and like COVID hit and like kids like on my floor had COVID, and like I have like a compromised immune system. So I asked my boss if I can go to like the lower level to like work with children with autism, and I have like experience because I've worked with like children before, and my younger brother's autistic. And she was just like, no, you can't. And I was like, why? Like a bunch of people quit already, so like there was like open spaces, but I don't know, she just didn't let me. So I was like, all right, well, like I'm out of here. And then like I just took like music like 100% like after that.
Serious.
Like yeah
Yeah.
like I don't have a job and it's COVID, so I'm gonna just like go full throttle with it.
Yeah, definitely saw the shift when you dropped that song. And then you dropped Opposition, Double Back with, of course, APF label founder and executive D Gomes. Shout out to D Gomes, which was a fire record. I don't know if you know, but that record was like felt throughout the city. Like,
Yeah,
people were playing it like you were a major label artist. Did
felt
you
really good.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I felt it.
It was dope. The video was fire too. You have my favorite video vixen in there, Albert.
Albert.
Shout out to Albert. I thought his name was Hammerowski for a long time. And I was like, that doesn't even sound like a real name. But what does it mean for you to have the support of home? Because I feel like a lot of people, when they come up out of here, everyone has a chip on their shoulder. But I don't feel like you carry yourself like that. But you also have the support from the city. So how does that feel?
I think I just like always loved where I came from, like growing up. Like I just loved being from Providence, and I've always been like a part of my community. Before I've done music, I would always like volunteer. I worked with children. I would do like charity events. Like before I like started doing music, I did like a battle of the DJs at AS220, and like all the money went to like we donated to the Southside Boys and Girls Club for like a financial literacy course, and like people brought like donations like clothes, and I donated it to like a shelter. So like I've always been involved in the community, so I feel like when I dropped music, people just naturally supported me because like the music was good and they knew who I was, and they just knew I was a good person, I guess. But I think
That makes sense.
I don't know, support means like everything to me. I feel like without like Providence, I feel like I wouldn't not necessarily have the confidence, but it's just like it's just home base, and it's like it's forever gonna be like who I am. Like I'm always gonna come back here. I'm always gonna like see my friends. I'm always gonna wanna like be with everyone, like on your podcast. Like I don't know. It means everything to me, to be honest.
That's dope. I love that. I feel like you just, maybe people are gravitating to you because of that. And also it's the relatability factor, because you stay around and like your videos were shot out here. I think it gives people a sense of pride. I think a lot of times, well, especially me growing up, we were looking for reasons to be proud of Prov, but we couldn't really find that. And I think we found it in the music, in artists like you, Lily Rain, Cam Bells, and you know, the list goes on and on. But you've had so many solid drops after those two records. But what really impressed me was your debut EP. And from the rollout to the concepts of the hair, I want to talk about everything. I know you worked closely with Leanna, who is fire. I love her. And so I want to know, what was the mindset for you when you were creating that? Because you also put out like a vlog before. Was it before or after you dropped Time Revealed?
I did a bunch of blogs, so I'm not sure. Like,
Yeah, it was dope. Whatever it was, you just gained a lot of momentum. So what was it for you? What got you in that zone?
for dropping the project, or like
For dropping the project, yeah, all of it.
Well, the music, Time Revealed, was like about a cancer man.
Well, we're gonna get to the zodiac.
I like Cancer, so I don't really have anything negative to say about him. But yeah, that whole project was about somebody.
One person in particular.
97% of
Wow.
the project.
Shout out to them. Thank you. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's still like, well, I don't know if he still is, but he was like one of like my biggest supporters at the time. Even after we stopped like dealing with each other, he was. So that was like the inspiration behind those songs. It was like a situationship, I guess. Yeah.
That's tough.
Those suck, huh?
Yeah.
The creative process, I feel like I always like doing like abstract hair. I feel like I've told this like story before. So like I have like Crohn's disease. So I was in the hospital for like 8 months. I had like 5 surgeries. I was like in the ICU, coma, all that shit. And like when I left the hospital, I had no like nutrition. So like all my hair fell out. So like I had to like shave my hair. So like when my hair grew back, I don't know, I just felt like a whole different person. And just like I appreciated just like life more. I appreciated just my hair more. It's like now like I have no like emotional ties to my hair. Like
It's just hair.
I don't give a fuck. Like I dyed it recently. I don't care about my curls. Like
I know.
I'll
I like
cut
the
it.
orange.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just whatever to me at this point. So I just wanted to like put in like an abstract feature on the project, and I want it to look like home. But Marie, she's an amazing hair braider. She's the one that did my hair. Ryan, he's the creative director behind The Time Revealed. Like it was at his house, like on his couch.
Really?
Yeah.
It. You know what? Now that you're saying that, I could see that because he has like a vintage like style to him.
Yeah, it was like all his stuff. Like him and like just like placed everything. And then we just took like there's so many beautiful like shots that day, like so many pretty pictures.
It's hard to choose one.
It was so hard to choose one, so we ended up choosing like the one I liked the most.
It's funny that you talk about you know, tying your hair back to your experience with this condition, which coincidentally my nephew also has Crohn's disease, and we deal with that on, you know, on a monthly basis. He has to go get checked and all that stuff. So I understand that piece of like looking at life differently and also having to, I guess, handle someone who is sick it's a lot, right? It's a lot to hold because there's a lot of, it just ruins like the daily routine of things. But the way you've been able to hold your composure through all that, I think is really great. The end product is beautiful. But when I saw your hair, I didn't even put that together because I know we've heard your story on the Gabby's movie. Gabby Gonzalez, shout out to her. She put a movie together of all these amazing young women who have great
Wherever
stories.
Gabby is, can you please release that movie?
Yo,
Pretty please.
deadass, can you sell it at least like something? I want to see it.
Please.
She had it in the theaters.
It was so amazing. Like she put in a lot of like
she's a great
work. She's
cinematographer.
incredible.
Yeah, she's
I really
dope.
want her to drop that. It was so amazing.
It was really good. Blessings in it as well.
Yeah, like it was, oh my God, it was
Lexus, I think, as well. Alexis Fernandez. But so when I saw the hair, I thought of Janet Jackson and Together Again video. Have you ever seen that video?
I don't think so.
So she has like, cause Janet Jackson she played with her hair a lot too. She had the long curls at one point.
Oh, show me it. So
I'm gonna show you. Cause I'm like, yo, cause I know you're genuinely a fan of music.
Yeah.
So I thought about this right here.
Oh, that's fire.
Right? And then Lisa Left Eye did something similar to that as well. So I'm like, oh, she's really a student of the game. But I mean, that doesn't negate that you're not a student of the game, but I think it's dope that it just came naturally to you in that way. It was fire. That project is amazing. What I really love about that project, besides all the good stuff and the contributions from people at home, Seth on bass, Big Walt Campbell's, of course,
Pluto.
Some people that goes over some people's heads that he's
Pluto,
a platinum selling producer right here from the city. But what I really liked about it was the sound, the quality of the sound. I feel like in this day and age, especially your generation, and I hate to be that old lady, but I feel like R&B is kind of like lost or like it's evolved, and that's fine. I listen to the new stuff, but you feel very true to like the roots of R&B. Can you talk about how you why you gravitate towards that sound, and is that intentional, or what is it about your style? Like, how did that come about?
I don't think it's intentional. I think it's all like just like sonically, like what I hear. Like when I hear like when people play me loops, I know like what instruments like sound best to add onto it. I know like what melodies would sound good on it. Yeah, and I just like I like making music that I listen to be honest. Like that's just like my most important. Like people can tell me like they like a song I make, and if I don't really like love it, I'll probably still drop it, but because
I don't like
eventually
it,
grows
but...
eventually grows on me. But I just like making music that like I know if it wasn't me that made it, I would listen to.
Right. I see what you're saying. You just have an ear for music.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I executive produce most of like my songs.
Dope. Do you play around with production?
I'm learning at the moment. Like I'm trying to learn an instrument, and I wanted to do like a project of like just me fully producing like my own.
That'd
music.
be fire. Yeah. That'd be fire. My favorite projects that was actually my highest played project that year on Tidal that it dropped.
Thank you.
But my favorite joints are Nowhere with Storm Ford. I love that song.
I love Storm. That's so crazy. I literally texted her last night.
Really?
I was like, I don't know why. I was listening to Tori Kelly, and it just reminded me of Storm because Storm's voice is just like insane.
Yeah,
so,
she could sang.
She could sing. So I texted her. I was like, hey, like I was just thinking about you. Like we just been texting today. Like I love that. So crazy. I thought about her last night.
Yeah, she's fire. I love that song. Switching Places and Can't Let You Go, I think are also very strong tracks. What's your favorite song on the album? Or EP?
That's so hard. I love all of them.
They're all good.
All for Nothing. I love Slime.
Ooh,
Slime
that's
feels
such a good way to open.
Yeah, Slime feels like me. Like it just feels like me.
Yeah, I love that video too with all the guys in the back. It's fire.
It was a really great video. Thank you. Yeah, All for Nothing, Slime. Yeah, those are my two favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of that video, I feel like you move like a superstar. I don't know if that's by accident, if someone's in your ear saying, don't do this, don't do that. But you have a whole team, correct?
Yes.
I knew it. I'm like, because there's people that are like independent artists and they don't really understand the structure of a team.
Yeah.
But the way you release your music, your album covers, how you're able, I think, to like be creative as well. I think if you're an artist doing most of the work, you kind of lose the creativity because you're worried about everything else.
When I moved to LA, that kind of happened to me. Like I lost like my whole team. Like literally,
because the team's out here.
The majority of my team is out here, and then like everyone's doing their own thing. So it's like you come back and like everyone's in different places. So like I feel like I'm at the place right now where it's like I'm starting from scratch again. Like
really
building like a team and just like getting more things done. But like I still have like everyone that like I started with basically.
Yeah, it's dope because I know anywhere you see Hennessy, I feel like you see Zeze there.
Yeah.
And anywhere you see him, then you see Wango, right? And these are guys who, I mean, Zeze's known for his fashion, of course, and Wango, who's like a top journalist to come out of the region.
Yeah, like these are like everyone that I worked with, like they're my real life friends. You know, so it was like it's never no pressure.
Right, it was organic.
So like we all just doing our own thing. Sometimes like we just can't focus on like certain things at a time. What's it feel like working with someone you can trust, right? We're looking at all this mess with Diddy and we've heard horror stories of men in the industry, but you have men in your corner that are the opposite. They're like protective. Yeah.
Talk about that dynamic.
Yeah, I won't go to the studio without any like guys on my team. Like, so I feel like they'll never like allow me to be in a position where like something like happens to me. Even like we have like younger artists like on the team that are like girls, and we don't let them go by themselves to the studio. Like we're very protective of each other, and it's like a lot of guys, so like they're very protective of us too. So yeah,
I feel like that's so key. And I'm getting out of music real quick because I think it's important to talk about as women how some women don't have dads, right? So like the protection is not in the house. You don't have male friends. And when you do, sometimes they're not showing up for you in that way. But you have that support system. Do you feel like because you have that, you've been able to move differently?
Yeah, I think a team is like very important. Like you can't do anything by yourself in life. You really need like people. Like I
Yeah,
say this
like
all the time.
the self-made narrative is
That's like
dead.
that shit's so
Yeah.
dumb. I hate when people say that. Like they do everything by themselves. They're so like no. Like you need people. You need community.
Yeah, and I think you've been really good at that. And shout out to D Gomes, who I think is such a great leader.
No, he's an amazing leader.
Yeah.
Like that, like he inspires me outside of like just like music. This man like wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning like every single day to go to the gym. Comes home, like he's on his laptop, like doing emails, just like taking phone calls. Like sometimes I feel so bad because he's like so overwhelmed. But like I've never heard him complain in my life, and he's like one of the most busiest people I know, one of the most hardworking people I know. Like, and he's just so like has routine, very like structure. Like he's just an amazing like exec. Like 10 years from now, like he's gonna be like a staple like in the music industry. Like his name is already like ringing bells in California. Like everyone wants to get next to him and just like
I mean,
work with him.
also with I think that happened too with Lynx getting signed as well, or a distribution deal, whatever the logistics are. I think he knows what he's doing, right? And he has talent on the team. Like Rosandra is not no small artist. You, Lynx, and there was someone else that was just signed as well, right?
We have Breeze. We have
Breeze Kennedy. Oh my gosh,
we
he's
have Alyssa, Zazu. He's from Rhode Island. Just a bunch of people.
Breeze is not from out here though. He's from Florida, right?
He's from Florida.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah, this kid's talented as hell.
He's
so
out of here. But I know that you y'all have been making a name for yourselves.
Yeah.
I saw you were you're rubbing elbows with like crazy people. D Gomes, he was at the Grammys.
Yeah.
You met Rihanna recently.
Yeah.
How the hell did that even happen?
We went to her Fenty event.
Was she nice? Did she smell good?
She smelled really good. She was super like really, really nice. Like me, I'm just reserved. And she was like, stop being shy and take a picture with me. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna I was definitely not gonna pull my phone out in your face, Rihanna.
Right.
You're Rihanna. So she told me to take a picture. So I just took selfies with her, and then like other people took pictures of us with her.
That's so dope. I was watching that and I'd be in my bed like a proud mom, like, look at it. And when you went on tour with A Boogie, that was huge as well. And of course your On the Radar appearance went crazy. Is there an interest in getting signed to a major?
I have absolutely no interest in being signed to a
You're
major.
staying right where you are.
Yeah, I feel like the new wave is like distros. Distros are amazing, to be honest. I'd rather be independent, get a distro deal. I feel like what you can do with a label, you can do like independently with a team. Like all you need is a budget, to be honest.
Right. I was gonna say it's the resources. I think
like the resources. Like
yeah, we're in an interesting time right now in the industry. I think it's so funny because I listen to the Joe Budden podcast often, and he was talking about how the industry's changing. Like the labels as we know it is dead. The industry as we know it is dead. And not to bring up Diddy again, but I think that this is the beginning of what the future of music will look like.
100%.
We don't need a cosign from a Diddy anymore. We don't need a cosign from, I mean, it's great, right? It's a good look if you get a feature from Lil Wayne, but I feel like when you were coming up as an artist, you had to get those cosigns. How do you maintain, first of all, your posture? Because I feel like you move humbly, but also your confidence in knowing that you have all this great talent, you have a great team, but I guess what I'm asking is like, what is the success for you? What's the goal? Like, what is it for you that is going to make you feel like I made it?
Well, it's definitely not signed to a label. I think like being like financially like free. Moving my like parents out of the South Side. Like I want to live in Rhode Island. Like, to be honest.
Really? Forever?
I love Rhode Island.
You sound just like Sound. He's saying the same thing.
I want a crib in Portsmouth.
Portsmouth specifically.
Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
Now you got to change the city because people are going to follow you to Portsmouth.
Like, I want... like, Portsmouth, I don't know too much about Newport, but I know, like, I had, like, this job. I quit the same day, though. But it was like it was like a canvassing job. And, like, we had to, like, walk around, like, houses and
ring bells
and have them, whatever. So this was, like, my first time actually, like, leaving the South Side and, like, going into, like, neighborhoods like this. Like, I was crying. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I'd never seen houses like this. Like, they were, like, huge. Like, I was so amazed at, like, this one lady's house, and she let me, like, walk in and see it. Like, their basketball court was, like, the size of, like, a big ass house. Like, it was just crazy.
People are rich.
Yeah, and I love the water. So, like, the Portsmouth, like, it's, like, right near the water.
Right by the water, yeah.
But I think that, like, just being, like, financially free, leaving, like, a legacy. I feel like as artists, like, it's important for us to, like, use our platforms for, like, the better, and just, like, encourage people to, like, one, vote. Gotta vote.
Yes, please.
Two, like, do your research on a lot of things. Like, I know, like, even in LA, like, LA to me is like a simulation. Like, during this whole, like, war going on, like, people just didn't want to speak about, like, Palestine. Like, they were so scared to, like, lose brand deals, like, lose connections. And, like, me, I really don't give a fuck, because, like, what God wants from me, he's gonna, like, give to me. So I think it's just very important to just, like, be true to yourself. And I just kind of want to, like, be that person to show everyone, like, you can come from, like, the trenches, and you don't have to, like, change who you are. You don't have to, like, conform. It's easy to adapt in places, especially when you come from Rhode Island. I feel like we're, like, very adaptable. Those are the things I feel. There's probably more, but I just can't think at the top of my head.
When the money comes, you'll think of other things.
Oh yeah, I know. I definitely want to, like, open up, like, a community center, like, for, like,
Very
Black
necessary.
and brown, like, LGBTQ. I feel like in high school, I don't know, I didn't know there was, like, an AS 220 or there was a New Urban Arts. Like, I didn't know, like, that existed. So I kind of want to create things like that where, like, kids can come and just, like, have a studio, like, learn how to produce, do photography, all those.
It's kind of like what Nip was doing.
Yeah, I think that's, like, really essential, especially, like, we're, like, the creative capital. And, like, I feel like a lot of kids don't have that, like, push. Like, you know how, like you said, like, with parents, they don't really, like, encourage. Like, I was lucky enough to have, like, support, so I kind of want to be that, like, support for other children in the city.
That's dope. It's a great vision. I want to switch gears, because in June you tweeted something, I think.
What did I tweet?
That pistol.
Because I be tweeting crazy stuff.
No, you're funny on Twitter. But you tweeted, I went on a date with a man, and he posted a picture of me and tagged me. And I think that's kind of crazy, right? Does the idea of fame make you nervous at all? Because that's kind of wild for him to do that, I think. But it's also like a badge of honor. He was proud, like, I'm with Hennessy. He
was proud. I think my thing is just, like, that's why would you bring that tweet up? I don't know. What was the question?
Does fame make you nervous?
Does it make me nervous? I don't think so. I don't think it makes me nervous.
Okay. Just stay away from him. Or Virgo Men, right?
He wasn't a Virgo, that guy, but oh man.
And so it seems like you play into zodiac signs, right? So I have here a list of characteristics that describe Scorpio. And I'm going to do this because I'm a Scorpio too. So this is like Scorpio on Scorpio crime a little bit. But I'm going to name some stuff. And if you relate to it, you think it's true to you, you say yes.
Okay.
If you think it's false and you're not, and you don't relate to it, say no. Controlling.
Yeah. But let me start off by saying the things I'm gonna agree to are the old me. I've been doing a lot.
Growth. Yeah. I mean, you're still growing. I think the frontal lobe just developed, right? How old are you?
300.
300. Okay. Obsessive.
Damn, like these are all old quality traits. Like, so I want to say yes, but like it's not me no more. Like,
okay, like the old you.
The old me.
Okay, all right. I want to speak for the new you though.
The new me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really boring. Like I really have been doing like I'm so boring now. I've
really
been, like really the work. Like I found my like purpose with God. Like
that's not boring at all.
That's not boring at all. But I mean, like I'm not toxic. So like a lot. Of
I see what you're saying. That's true. Like, toxic seems more fun when you're young.
Yeah, it was very fun.
No, tell us more.
It was very fun. Yeah, I think I'm more like at peace like now mentally.
That's good. Okay. But secretive,
100%. I still am very secretive.
Yeah. What is that about? It's privacy or secret? Is there a difference?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Vengeful. No, you're not petty?
I used to
be. Okay. Morbid.
No.
It says that Scorpio interests are meditating. Is that you do a lot of prayer and things, okay? Climbing the career ladder is just what you're doing, right? Ambitious. Forming a cult. That's kind of wild.
That's scary.
This is the Cosmo. You know, white people say any kind of things. And for relationships, only for the sake of I hate Virgo men, it says that your favorite ingredients are passion, intensity, intimacy, control, submission, and secrecy.
That's very true. I like being submissive to men.
Really?
That are submitted to God, though.
Like a good man.
A good man.
He has to be not a Virgo man.
You know what's so crazy? After I dropped that song, cat's out the bag. I fucked with another Virgo. And he did the same shit. So like,
oh no. Not double.
I don't know why. You know what? So I've been on this like healing journey, and I don't how can I put this? Like I kept attracting Virgo men, but what I think it was, I kept attracting men that had no relationships with God. So, and they just so happened to be Virgo men. So it was like, if they don't know God, and God is love, they don't know how to love me correctly. Because the men that I had like good relationships with, they had relationships with God. And weren't Virgos, but
they're rooted in a firm foundation.
Yeah, they knew how to treat me, like respect me. They knew like not to cheat. Like they just knew, like they just had
moving different.
Moving because they knew God.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. More girls should. Yeah, more girls should take that into account. But
yeah, I literally told myself like this recently. I was just like, the next man like I involve myself with heavily like has to put God first. I feel like that's the only way.
That's a great requirement.
Would work. And I think because I kept asking myself, I'm like, why do I keep attracting Virgo men? Because it's like we keep teaching each other things. Like it's not like I meet these guys and like I don't leave with like nothing like that I learned out of myself, and they always leave like learning things about themselves. But I feel like God was just showing me that I need to like either like help these like men like have a relationship with God, which like I tried, or just like direct my like focus to men that are like led by God.
Yeah, that's true. That's a hard lesson.
Yeah,
it's a hard lesson, child. Oof. I am triggered. But a few days ago, you posted a flyer, and by the time this comes out, the show might have already passed. But you are performing at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. Will this be the first time you're going back on a big stage in a while?
Yeah.
How's it feel? You ready? You nervous?
I don't think I'm ever nervous, but I'm ready. Like I've missed being on stage.
Yeah. And you have new music coming out. Are you putting out Lucy's project or both?
Both.
Yes. Can we expect more R&B, or are you gonna play around a little bit? Because I feel like you got a little rapper in you.
Yeah, I have this song on my project produced by Chasing Cash, and it's like it gives like, I'm still singing, but it just gives like rapper vibes.
Like sexy drill.
No, it's not sexy drill at all.
I just learned that, so I'm kind of.
It's not sexy drill, but it's fire. Like my project's already done.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, it's already done.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout for that. So, and this year?
Next year.
Next year, okay. All right, so we're gonna have to wait a little longer. Golly. I'll just keep bumping Tyree Bill. That's fine. And Jumbotron is feels very grown.
The new project's kind of grown.
I feel like you're blossoming into like baddie stage. Is that appropriate? I don't know. Feels weird.
Just being more feminine.
Okay.
I told you I have a relationship with God, and you know, femininity is important.
Okay. Yeah. No, I peeped. But I do want to give you your flowers while you're here and say that I love the way you carry yourself.
Thank you so much.
I love that you are able to stay humble even with all these amazing milestones that you've experienced and that you will experience. I think it takes someone who is firm in God and planted and 10 toes down on the ground. It takes that kind of person to receive these blessings and understand that it's not coming from you. It's coming from God, and that you're able to still look forward. So I think that's great. Whoever raised you, whatever village raised you, they did a great job.
Thank you.
Even though I was kind of scared that you wasn't gonna make it today, I was like, is this lady? I was sweating. I was like, Hennessy, please. But I understand that you are busy. You were in Pilates today. You're taking care of yourself.
I was gonna, of course, make it. I came a little late on my book.
Right. But the music is fire. And I'm proud of you. And I'm excited for what's to come. So to close out, I want to know what sparks your passion for the future.
I think I mentioned it before, leaving a legacy. I feel like we're all gonna die one day, you know? So I feel like I want people to know me for like the things I've done in my community, the influence I have, the positive influence I've had on people, whether it was just like we met one time or like encountered each other like multiple times. The music I continue to drop throughout the years, like my business and like ventures that I want to like get into, but I definitely just want to leave a legacy. So like, I mean, it's I don't really want to speak for the future because like I'm working towards it like every day. I feel like if I was to die tomorrow, I feel like people know me for things I've done already, like in the community, and like my music has helped a lot of people. So I just continue on. I want to continue to use my voice to just like influence like the next generation and have like a positive impact on a lot of things.
Dope. Thank you. So how can the people follow you? Where can we find your music?
Hennessy, that's my government name, by the way. Is on Apple Music, Spotify, all DSPs, and all my social media platforms are Pour Some Henny.
All right. And you can catch me on 101.1 FM WBRU 360. If you're not from Providence, you can download that WBRU 360 app. Listen to the radio show. Comes on every Tuesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. with DJ Franchise. And they're spinning hip hop and R&B 24/7 on that app. And you can check out the reruns anywhere that you find podcasts. This podcast ain't for everybody, but it's for somebody. And if that somebody is you, then follow Sparkle Pod on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts. Hennessy, I'm so excited for what the future has for you, what God has for you. I can't wait to hear the new music. I'm so excited. And thank you again for coming on the Sparkle Podcast. And yes, please do. And of course, the podcast where we just spark up conversations with ordinary people who are just doing extraordinary things. So I appreciate you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cristina Sev, we out. Okay. Yes.